This is the urban habitat of sustainable humanity. This we have to understand. This is our integration of built structure with living, productive, sustainable food and functional landscaping. This is the future of our supply lines. Here we have an acerola cherry, one of the highest fruits in the world in vitamin C. Oh, it's right here like a vitamin C pill near the house. Down a footpath surrounded by herbs, next to a natural ionized swimming pool, no chlorine involved here. We have food plants going right up against the pool. I can see a kangkong there, Ipomera aquatica, a natural spinach of the tropics. We have bell peppers, chili peppers, grapevine, lost all its leaves in winter, letting the winter light come through, but would be a complete green shade in summer as a functional feature. Underneath we've got Tahitian spinach, right outside the door, as a really good subtropical leaf crop. So we've got all kinds of foods very close and very convenient. Typical Zone 1 planning. There are human-friendly elements here. There are garden seats. Again, more bird baths, little ponds. So there's a diversity of habitat, predator habitat, frog ponds, rockeries for lizards, perches for birds, bird baths to attract in the birds. It's a friendly habitat to people. Here's a big custard apple. There's a citrus right behind us, with a passion fruit, with cardamoms, with papayas. There's just layers and layers and layers of food here. There's root crops, clumping crops, herbs. There's more than I could mention, but it's all stability by diversity occupying the space. This is a very, very secure landscape to live in, and it's a landscape that you feel as if you're insured, your existence is insured, and your health is insured. And it's vital, and it's still interesting, and it's still aesthetic. This is not an untidy landscape. This is a landscape that is very beautiful, and it's very, very healthy for you and other creatures. It's not exclusive. It's not a landscape where we have to go to war against weeds or a war against pests. Everything is in balance, and the surplus is our supply line, our needs. We see that we are actually interacting with solar energy and feeding back to the grid. We have solar hot water. We have solar electricity. We have a natural vent on the top of the house cooling it down, and we even have a satellite dish. We're not exclusive as if technology is some kind of enemy. We're interacting with technology in an appropriate way. This is a permaculture design system, one that really works. So as we transit through Zone 1, we pass a lime that's hanging over from Zone 2. But out of the gate, and very quickly, we go through into a second zone. This is the broader zone of forest. And there's fruit on the floor immediately. I've got to step over fruit. We've got understories of coffee in production. We've got different types of fruit trees all around us. We're in a broad zone with rough mulches. And this, on the edge of Zone 1, also joins onto Zone 3. In this case, there is a Zone 3 because there's a small amount of pasture. And we actually have a small dairy on this property. So as we walk around this more open forest, allowing citrus to grow, there's a great diversity of mixtures of trees. It's not just one species. There's chocolate pudding fruit, black sapote, Chinese raisin, longan, mulberries, nitrogen fixing trees, a whole mixture of forestry. It's well established and it's quite open. It's an easy system to walk through. It's an easy system to pick, because this system's almost 13 years old now. as we get to the edge, we come up to a section here where zone 3 meets zone 2, and we've got a small dairy yard. So there's just one Jersey cow, milked every day, produces all the milk and all the cheese and butter for this family. And it's fed from a small pasture that actually gains nutrient from zone 1 and zone 2 drainage, and the surplus forage crops that are also mulch crops double as a support for the cow. So there's cut forage surplus in zone 1 and 2 that's fed over to our cow, which returns manure back into zone 1 and zone 2. These are simple cycles. They're all cycles that work very well and create a very healthy environment. So here's a conventional road, hard surface road, coming through the landscape and picking up water. Now the drain has been picked up so it comes into this property and fills these two dams on either side of the driveway. These two dams then picking up the nutrient of life, water plants, fish, and all the other things that naturally occur in water and are encouraged in this situation. They then, when an overflow occurrences happen, and that's quite quick with that feed of water off that road, overflow into the system and soak the nutrient down through zone 2, and that soaks into zone 3. This is a matter of just stacking natural functions through zones, making connections between elements that most people wouldn't see connections for. A road to a dam, to a productive diverse forest, to a nutrient flow, to a small pasture. Simple connections make all the productivity easier. This is zone planning, this is design function. This makes life, productivity, healthy systems easier to achieve. Design planning. Here we have an organic matter swale, full of all kinds of organic matter, broken down branches, bits of old furniture. There's boxes in here that are going to go back to the soil. There's old overalls. There's even old bits of furniture that'll all break down in this humid material because there's a swale under here that's trapping moisture. Bananas are sucking that moisture and living on it. There's banana fruit above me. What a great appropriate system. There's nothing fancy about this, but it works, and that's the main thing. Here we are walking again through zone 1. I'll pick up a bit of forage on the way through, and our cows are waiting for us. They're on the edge of zone 3. So here's zone 2 is kind of missing at this point, but it doesn't matter. We're joining zone 1 to zone 3, and they're really happy about that because they can share in the production and they can produce for us easily harvested fertilizer, as in their manure, mineral rich with our nutrient from our zone 1. Good design. This is where things become very functionally energy efficient. We've got all kinds of elements around us that make our work easier, and production simply a matter of functional interrelationships. From zone 3, and in this case grazing paddock with our dairy cow and calf, through into zone 4 and quickly into zone 5 with a sanctuary dam and a palm-lined valley of wilderness. The edge of the system, zone 5, cares for itself, and there's a beautiful backdrop of serenity and sanctuary.